Now, there's a lot I want to talk about this video, and I want to get your opinion on it. And we might say some things, fair warning to you guys, that you might not like, but please just heed what we have to say. Just hear us
Mhm.
first before coming to judgments, because there are topics that are very questionable, that might upset or trigger people. But if you look at it, there is some hypocrisy going into this. I'm just going to flat out say it. That's my stance. Will doesn't know exactly where I'm going to go with this. I'm just
Mm.
flat out saying that ahead of time. But the incident has reignited discussions on convention safety, because there's always been stuff, and Will being in the aspect of conventions. I know there was a convention recently where there has this one person who was banned from conventions, and now she's allowed to be at conventions because she was going around. Um, I want to say it's just for safety, for social media purposes, SA people. She was,
She
and
was?
she was, yes, she was
Okay.
inappropriately touching people, grabbing certain
Okay.
appendages of them, and doing
Yeah,
certain
that's not
things that
cool.
just without their consent.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And she was removed from these conventions. Well, apparently, recently she's allowed to go to these conventions now. She's also in a different industry, also that involves touching and feeling. Um, Now,
Here's the
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the situation when it comes to safety at the convention and this stalker situation. Because honestly, I'm flat to say it is. It is a stalker.
yeah.
Now, I said we're gonna get into all of it
It
but I want to hear Will's opinion
it
first.
definitely seemed like it from the video, but I was so like as somebody that's been fortunate enough to work with a lot of conventions on either a staff basis or like a professional basis over the past
Hmm.
5 years,
Hmm. Yeah.
people don't there's not like a database that everybody that's running a convention looks at to say who's allowed to come in. Like there's not a data like
It'd be impossible.
it's impossible to police
Mhm.
that. Now,
Yeah.
if your convention has an issue with one person and we can say, hey,
Mhm.
we can't allow that person to buy tickets anymore, like you can
Mhm.
maybe police that, but it is impossible to say that this person can't go to conventions anymore. You could, I guess that person could have a legal injunction filed against them, like saying legally
I
you're
could
not
find it.
allowed to
Yeah.
go to these types of events. Like I suppose
Mhm.
something like that could happen, kind of like a legal restraining order type of thing. I'm not an attorney, but I assume something could be happening because you can tell people like, hey, you can't go within 100 feet of a school. You're not allowed to do that ever, right?
Mhm.
I'm assuming that you could do something, say, hey, you're not allowed to go to these events. I don't know.
Right.
But
Right.
as far as saying like, hey, this person isn't supposed to be here, like it's impossible to police that. And I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of an insight onto like big events, right? Concerts, football games, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's all theater. It's
Mhm.
all security theater. It's
Mhm.
all just there to make you feel safe. It's not actually working. The only people the security is actually like finding out are people that are stupid. Any bad person that really wants to do something is going to find ways around the security that's there. It's all
Right.
security theater. And
Okay.
all that to say, it's not fair to take the perspective of like, well, this convention shouldn't have allowed this person to be here, or we should do a
Mhm.
better job of making sure these weirdos don't get into. Because if the person was a stalker, then I mean, she might have some mental issues. She probably does, but it's weird behavior, right? To stalk
Right.
somebody and to treat somebody that
Right.
way. But
Have
it's
you
just,
seen the video?
I've seen part of the video, and she
Okay.
seems like she might have some challenges.
Right.
Um,
Well, let me explain the video for everyone of what I remember it as, to kind of shed some light on these people, so that you can get the perspective of what Will's talking about. So it shows, like I said, it has the POV, says something about being kicked out of a convention, something like, or being called a stalker. So there is this female who is, you can see she's looking nervous, almost frantic. She's being asked to leave or to step aside,
mhm.
and she's saying, "Oh, I can't see him. I can't see him. I can't. What? I can't see my favorite voice actor. I can't meet him. I can't do this." Then, at some point, when they're trying to get her to leave more, they persist, and she's saying, "Oh, no, no, my father or my papa took accountability for that trouble that happened a while back. He's the one that took accountability for it." And then again, going back to where, "Oh, I can't see him. I'm not gonna be able to see him again. I'm not gonna be able to do this." When you watch the video, you can see there does appear to be some people are saying autism. am I now? I want to
Yeah.
get the facts right. I think there is a mental mental disability potentially, or a mental
She seemed like she had some type of cognitive challenge, some
now
type of
where
cognitive, like, learning
yeah
challenge as opposed to
yeah
what, somebody normal. I hate to say normal because what's
no
normal? Like,
yeah
she's a person, she deserves to be treated like a person, right?
we're all on the
But she
spectrum at
seemed
some
like
point.
she
Yeah,
had some type of learning disability or some challenge.
yeah, yeah, or just potentially just how most people are socially awkward. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone has a little
she
bit of
could just
that.
be weird.
Could just been that. Now, there's a lot of things that go on the rabbit hole. And we're gonna go on try to both sides and kind of get your perspective a little bit on it. Will one side is that they went deep and found out the person. If you've not seen the video, you could easily find it on social media. It's gone viral like crazy. A lot of people have been saying what they want to say about it, but they found even because the internet does what the internet does, has found videos of her talking, and apparently the voice that she was doing while she's being kicked out seemed to be a little theoretical. Now, I haven't personally seen the video, so I don't know. But these are what claims people are saying. They're saying that there's another video up. She's been taking down the videos. She's been removing comments, removing stitches, all that stuff. So it seems like maybe hiding, or maybe because internet is not really a safe place for anybody. Maybe it's just gotten too much, and they're trying to protect themselves.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about. Now, on the other hand, though, this is where I feel is pretty crazy, because the part I mentioned where she mentioned that her father took accountability for the problems that she ran into. That right there, people are saying the father is enabling the daughter
Yeah.
by, if he's taking on the blame just so she can still live her life and have fun,
Mhm.
he's enabling her because she's not realizing what's right and wrong. And everyone's going after anyone who's been bullying the comment section or saying, like, this is wrong, stalking this voice actor, which I think is doing the appropriate reason, staying quiet and all this, because first off, you
Oh, yeah.
shouldn't say anything if you don't know all the facts.
Absolutely.
And we're just giving you all what we know.
And I'm sure his
So
managers probably said, "Hey, don't say
it's
anything."
probably the right thing to do. But you guys don't realize the hypocrisy you're enabling just right there. You're showing her right now, because she's probably looking at all these videos. You're showing her saying, hey, the father shouldn't be taking accountability of this. You shouldn't be mean to her because she's like, her father's enabling. You're enabling her right there. That's hypocrisy.
They're
You're enabling,
also
saying like, hey, you shouldn't be mean about this because
Mhm.
of, her father shouldn't be doing. He's enabling. You're doing the exact same that you're getting mad at. That's
You're also
hypocrisy.
giving her a ton of attention,
Hmm.
thus further potentially validating it, especially if she does have some learning disabilities.
Hmm.
Seeing that, she could very easily be like, oh, what I did was good, I got a lot of people are
Right.
talking about me, right?
Right.
Or if she is like legitimately a stalker who's a little cracked in the head. I don't know this girl,
Hmm.
so I don't know, she could be crazy or she could have
Hmm.
learning disabilities, I don't know. But if she is crazy and then she sees all this, she's like, oh yeah, I'm getting the attention finally, like,
Hmm.
so all this is doing is validating
So
everything.
what I've seen, and I don't know everything about, autism, and a lot of people are claiming that she has autism. I know family members. I also know friends and people who have autism, and what I've seen is that being direct and firm actually benefits. Now, is that what it needs to be for her? I don't know. I'm not in that position to say it, but in that situation where people are saying the father is enabling, I do agree, but you are as
If
well.
that's the situation, yeah.
If
If
it
that's
is.
the
Now,
situation.
if she's faking, that is completely wrong. Now, my mindset, what I think is, when it comes to this, is when Will was mentioning about how conventions, it shouldn't be on conventions or as a whole to root out these people.
It's just
I
not
agree. I
possible.
feel like in that situation, when a voice actor who you were hiring to be there or inviting to be there, if they feel uncomfortable, I think it is upon the convention themselves to make that person feel comfortable, especially if you have potential harm coming
Yeah.
to
Well,
another person.
these voice actors, they can, like, make requests and like, "Hey, we
Yes.
have these issues. We need X amount of secure, or we require this or whatever." And the people bringing them out can either say, "Hey, we acquiesce, we'll provide that," or "We're not willing to provide that." And then it's back
Mhm.
on the actor to say, "Okay, well then I'm not coming," or "Okay, I'll go ahead and come." Like, the only people
Yeah.
that really can, like, effectively be responsible about this is
Is
the
who it's
voice
affecting.
actors themselves and like their
Yes.
team, right?
Yes.
So what Zach should do and probably will do in the future, if this girl is an issue, is have
Mhm.
his handlers will know, hey, she can't be here, and then they just
Mhm.
need to be aware, hey, there's this person that's a problem. Oh, there,
Yeah.
this person's here. we need to get the show promoters and we need to get security here immediately. That's honestly
Okay.
the best thing that you can do about somebody that's a problem like that.
Right. So if case in point, what I believe is if it's affecting somebody, the only person who can actually say and have all final say on what it is who it's affecting.
Yeah.
So for him, I hate to say it, the power is in Tanjiro's hands. You know, what form of breathing technique he's going to use against her? No, that's messed up. I'm sorry. Now, Zach needs or doesn't need. I mean, this is where it gets a little tricky because in my mindset, Zach is the only one who can decide. If he decides to say nothing about it, that's the way you guys should leave it. You shouldn't be talking about it anymore.
If it
he
was
decides to do
me,
nothing,
if it
which
was
I
me,
think
you say nothing
personally,
and you have your team know like who's the problem person, and that if
yeah.
that person arrives, you immediately inform the show security and the show promoters. That's
Mhm.
really, it's not like there, you know, security at the front of these conventions has a folder of pictures that they're flipping through and be like, you're allowed to come in. Like, it's not practical. It's physically, you
I mean,
can't
you
do
have
that.
people walking around with weapons in their hands. You want to make sure your
You have
security's
people
making
in
sure they're not
cosplay.
real.
Yeah, security's
Yeah.
making sure that the weapon's fake, right? You have
I mean,
people in
they're doing their
cosplay with
job.
masks on. Like, come on,
Yes.
like it's not
Leave it to
realistic.
the actual
Yeah.
team itself to worry about that. Now, with Zach, my mindset, what I think I would do in this situation is, honestly, if it's not really affecting me that much, I wouldn't bring any more attention to it. I wouldn't do anything. I would just, like Will said, I would mention to my team about this, and also maybe
And that's
mention to the convention ahead of
a
time.
great point too.
Now,
Him not saying anything about it, his perspective could be just like, she's just a really big super fan. Yeah, maybe she's
yeah,
a little weird, but she's not bothering me. Or he could be like, no, this is really freaking weird and messed
we
up,
don't
and like
know
all these
what
things
he's
are
doing.
happening. Yeah.
But like I said, if he decides to do nothing about it, then that's what people should leave it as. Stop doing all this. Like, stop. First off, you shouldn't be going after this woman and attacking her, but also attacking each other for this.
But
This is affecting two people.
we live in a world where people
I
are
know.
so
I
hard
know.
on for
This is
content that they'll
affecting
jump
two
on
people,
anything.
though. Zach and his potential alleged stalker. Okay, that's all needs to happen. All right. If this person was just doing this for clout, shame on them. If this person actually, you know,
I also
likes the
could see
person,
that being a positive. People would do crap like that. Like,
that's true.
I'm not saying
I mean,
that she is, but like people would do crap like that for clout.
first impressions when I watched the video, I thought it was fake.
Oh yeah.
I thought
So
it was
see,
fake.
that was my first impression too. I'm watching. I'm like, this is like too exaggerated. Like this is. I
Mhm.
was like, this has got to be a skit or something. I was like,
Because those who people,
this
like,
is
we've
a
been
skit.
around enough people to know
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
real and what's not.
Well, that was my first impression. I was like, oh, this is a skit where she's like
Mhm.
pretending to be like overly excited, and then
But
like,
once I saw security
Yeah.
actually trying to do it, I was like, oh, this is real? Still question marks? So there's that one option. Now, the other options that Zach does have is he can file a restraining order, but I don't see any good way of this ending because say, I mean, if it becomes to where endangerment, then yes, I agree. 100% do what you need to do, brother. But it's going to kind of look bad because if you're thinking, oh, this voice actor, you know, he treats his fans like this, he's just throwing out restraining orders here and there, that might look bad for him as a person, as a brand.
But you know what's so
As
interesting is like on the other side of the coin,
Mhm.
my first experience meeting somebody, meeting an actor that actually is the experience or one of the two experiences on the same day that caused me to make my first YouTube video. So this is one of the experiences that led to me being right here sitting in this chair, was
Right.
meeting Jason David Frank
Mhm.
7 years ago. You know, rest in peace. That golly, that was one of the him and Robin Williams were two of the hardest celebrity deaths I had to deal with.
Wow.
But
Okay.
meeting Jason David Frank, and the young man in front of me was with his dad. He was probably in his late 20s, very clearly had autism, but such a sweet kid. And
Mhm.
like goes up to Jason David Frank, and like Jason recognized him, and he had a
Yeah.
folder of all the things Jason had signed. Like this guy follows Jason around to every Texas appearance that he would make and meets
Mhm.
him. But like this was a kid that was, you know, on the spectrum, but doing it the right way. Like, and like his dad was there helping him navigate this situation, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a healthy way. And that Jason like could show this kid love. And it was a really beautiful thing. That's the
Yeah.
flip side of the coin of this, right?
Right.
If this isn't indeed real and it's not a bit for clout, which who knows these days.